Hello, everyone. Yeah, that's an entrance.
Oh yeah, how's everybody doing? Happy to be here.
Nice.
Yeah, JP's in the house. Trevor Grassi from Rogala and myself. Welcome everyone to this live transmission. You can see we're already having a lot of fun, as how we will be having a lot of fun at Disclosure in Mackinac. So I'm pretty much getting used to this. You know, Frank, yesterday we had an amazing show. Today, another amazing show. If yesterday was a powerhouse, I don't know how to call this. So,
I mean, yesterday we had like live, like just recent shapeshifter experience stuff happening, you know, and so heaven knows today. But okay, so let me just give a couple details real quick. Disclosure in Mackinac, not like any other conference, not in a hotel room. This is all JP's fault because he saw the future, you know, and then we were all kind of catch up, right? And literally that's true. But what happened was he kind of saw this impossible thing happening. And then I thought it was impossible. And everybody I asked kept saying yes. And now it's happening only in a few weeks. It's going to be in Mackinac. If you're thinking about coming in, which I totally recommend, because these people, this vibration, what you're going to see things that have never been shown before, information and interaction that is going to be unlike any other conference. But we're going to be in Northern Michigan. There's 2 airports here. So if you're flying in, we've got our own shuttle. There's a thing where you can mark to get a shuttle from us because there's not a lot of Uber up here. And then we'll take care of you. We're going to have 2 meals a day. This included with your ticket. We'll have like a continental breakfast with a little bit more than continental, and then a dinner. And then during the middle of the day, we'll take a break and we're going to get outside in the beautiful weather. And, you know, you can swim in the lake. You can ride a bicycle. You can go take a nap at a cabin. You can do, you know, you can stay in a campsite. We have 25 kinds of campsites, 25 kinds of cabins. We have house rentals. We have motels. We have, you know, just anything that you want, let us know and we'll make it work. If you're flying in, we'll, you know, like I said, make sure you get to the airport, make sure you get back. The schedule isn't up yet because we're in Northern Michigan. Like it's like a hand. There's a big lake here, a big lake here, a big lake here. And so the weather's never right. So we're gonna like look at what happens when we're here and go, okay, tonight we're gonna do this. Tomorrow we're gonna do that, right? And so if you have like questions, if you just go to Mortals of Earth, it's on my thing there. You'll see the links to get to it. There's a lot of information on the site there. You can also call the campground, Mackinac Mill Creek Camping, my empire here. And my staff is amazing. They will answer questions. And if they can't answer it, they'll put you in touch with me directly. And I am so thrilled to have these people coming to this place, and your energy is needed. Even if you can only participate online, we'll have an online option. And each one of these people has a coupon in their name. You'll get 10% off on the coupon code. So JP, YssaH, Trevor, whatever is that your coupon? You guys, I got them right. I think I looked. JP, YssaH, yeah. And I don't know about Trevor's. You haven't done it yet?
I haven't. It's not a big deal to me. I want you to get all the returns for this. I know you're sinking yourself into it, so it's okay. I'll share the normal link for now, but
okay. Well, so that's that, and then also I was just today talking to our mutual friend YssaH about getting some crystal tablets and crystal skulls and some things that are from a discovery that a lot of us had been on. Inez is going to be there along with Trevor and you and me, and then Sean might show up. I said if he can get there, he's my guest. So could end up having a lot of people that have been on the dig, and JP has been advising us, like don't do this, look out for that. So we are going to be like 1/3 of the collection is here, another third is over the border, and the other third, we're fingers crossed, is coming yet. So we're going to have a pop-up museum probably the night we do the Skywatch, because I've done them before, but I'm a piker compared to JP. Man, that dude's done it for like hundreds of people, right? And so JP, I was just going to say, I overheard you. And what's really crazy is you were talking about the same method that I thought I came up with, where I get the group synchronized by humming together. I heard you say you do the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like to get everybody together and have that same frequency of around in between 120 or 130 BPM type of sound to synchronize, to put everybody in the same frequency of love, that frequency of I want to be here, and I did it in France, I did it in Japan, I did it in the UK. We're going to do it again in the UK. I did it in Sedona with Dr. Moon and YssaH. We had a great time over there. I think you were there too. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be an amazing time over there, because I heard over there in Mackinac you don't have as much of light pollution. It's similar to Sedona, to the area that we're going. So that's gonna be good to bring these beautiful ships down, and wherever Emery and I are, and YssaH and everybody here, we're gonna bring these guys down.
It's serious. Yeah, serious things going on for sure.
So you imagine that big lake this way is 300 miles of water, 300 miles of water. There's no lights there, right? So, and we're right there. So all that darkness around us,
Yeah. Now that you were saying about the special place that Mackinac is, it reminded me yesterday what we were talking with Nikki, that for me, it brings to my attention how Franks describes Mackinac as going into a time machine, because everything is like going into that past.
Mm-hmm.
And then it reminded me of Cuba, because Cuba is the same thing. So then I say, interesting.
1950s, 1940 vibe.
Yeah. So I'm tapping that there are very specific technologies under the water, and it's giving, like that effect, because one thing is that you're tapping into, like old things, yet the feeling that you get that you're going back in time, that's different. That's something different. And you and I, JP, have talked about this, how many things are taking place in Cuba.
I'm gonna bring my cowboy hat to Mackinac.
That'll look great. That'll be good for pictures. So I want to address Trevor, because people think of Trevor's eyes being hanging out all the time and being best friends and whatever. We like never see each other unless we get together and amazing stuff happens, and people think we're together all the time. So this is the first time Trevor will be coming to Mackinac. I'm so excited to have him come. We've been to places all over the world together, but he's never been here.
I see you more than any of my local friends. I don't leave my house. I often joke to go to the grocery store or Egypt, basically, but conferences as well. Yeah. Egypt, conference, or grocery store. Half the time I leave my house, I end up hanging out with you, Frank.
That sounds funny.
Well, he's a great roommate. I can tell you that.
Which is great. Yeah, absolutely. Man, yeah, I've been seeing you just working like crazy on this, Frank. I appreciate you so much. It's been like, I don't know, 3-4 years since we first just ran into each other on Muhammad's tour in Egypt. And that was such a, that was such a great day. Muhammad calls me up the night before and he's like, Trevor, do you want to jump in with us to go to Tanis and Tel Basta, 2 of the temples in Egypt that I've been wanting to go to forever. And he was like, why don't you jump on the tour tomorrow on me, come meet some friends. That's how I met Frank. And then it was just like, wow.
hopefully, I'm thinking about it. I'm still, I really want to go to Egypt and feel that frequency in Egypt and be part of something huge and big, you know.
That would be awesome, man.
Yeah.
I do have a tour coming up there. I could plug a little bit, but also I was talking with YssaH and Sean and Jean-Charles Moyen and several of the people who are involved, like with Brian and his Full Disclosure Now.
Billy Carson invited me too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He does one every year.
Yeah. So Trevor's tour, because we did this last year, he goes to a part of Egypt that not a lot of people go to, which is the middle part. Oh. And it's, that's where Akhenaten was from. And there are parts of it that you like until you're on the ground and you like see like the crystals growing out of the rock and the ruins of the pyramid, or you go into this thing that looks like a bunch of mud and you see the most beautiful sarcophagus that's perfect that you've ever seen in your life. It's just unbelievable. The things that are the energy there is so different than it is in the north, because Cairo is very chaotic and the roads and the city, and you get up there and it's like this peacefulness, right?
How about Tel El Amarna? Remember the chamber in the royal tombs there at the separate section of cliff tombs? I'm not sure if YssaH, you've been here too, but we were just there in March. There's one of the royal tombs when you're kind of in the chamber just before the bottom one, that rumbling shaft. You go across this walkway with a floor maybe 10, 15 feet below you. And while you're in that chamber, you hear this rumbling like a jumbo jet's going overhead. That was a special one.
Well, nice. The strange thing about that is that low frequency sound. You like when somebody comes in your neighborhood and they got a big subwoofer, you hear them like blocks away, right? Well, this seems like it's that same frequency because you can feel it in your bones. But the minute you step 2 feet out of that room, it's gone, and you step back in and it's there again. So it's not a normal frequency.
Magic.
Okay. So it has acoustic technology.
Yeah, and one of the things that I have experienced in Tel Amarna at what was going to be Akhenaten's tomb is that there is a huge anomaly there, like huge levels of plasma coming to the surface. Like people took videos of me, and I have like this green and pink plasma around me after just doing a huge activation on the underground tomb. So just a little bit of intro about Akhenaten, JP. He was known as the unifier. Well, one of the names, because he went beyond the religious cult, like the priestess had taken over by getting a lot of money from people, and they just trying to put out the gods as something higher than the people. So Akhenaten said, no, this is not how it goes. We are a galactic family, and there is no higher force than you. We are all equal. And also, a lot of the people has interpreted that he was having a cult for the solar disk. But when I saw that, besides my memories, I said, that really makes no sense. Like someone with such high technology, like praising to the sun as God, it makes no sense. So then I started diving into what truly the Aten means, and it's orb. What is orb if it's not plasma? So he was bringing forward a lot of plasma as the fundamental life force of life, and all the technologies that are related to that. So I'm pretty sure that he even chose Amarna, not only because he was very much in contact with the galactics, because he himself was one of the last members of the galactic community in Kemet in ancient Egypt, yet because of the electric current anomaly in the field, like all that amount of plasma, such as in Giza Plateau, that they have captured these plasma orbs. So,
well, part of his story is the orb that spoke to him, right? Changed everything. And I mean, basically, he was way too far ahead of his time. They had a way to wipe everything out that had to do with him, destroy it all. When you go there, you're seeing remnants of what's left, because it was so dangerous to the way things were set up. But anyway, so just saying, JP, Trevor's tour does a thing that most people don't, and it was fascinating to me because you'll get a taste. You'll get a taste of all the normal, all the other places. I mean, everything there is crazy, but to go there, it's a whole nother vibe. So, but along with that,
I must say, Frank, that I'm also having a trip to Egypt, guys. This is also what JP was talking about. It will be November. I haven't even announced it, like in media. And thankfully, we are like already sold out in spots, just a few left for whoever decides to come. And we're also going to Tell El Amarna, actually. It's one of the places that we will be going to, and also Mount Anubis. I don't know if you have heard about it, Trevor. Mount Anubis.
Oh,
it's in Abydos. So there, this has a pyramid that hasn't been officially acknowledged as a pyramid, yet the full structure underground is pretty much virgin because no one goes there. They call it the tomb of Sensoret or Senroset, and it's wild. And even there is a prophecy going on there. They barely allow anyone to go, not only to the desert in Abydos, yet to that mountain, because they say that there is a Stargate there, and people knows, the people around there know. They even talk about that prophecy, the natives, that people will come to activate the Stargate, and they say that they will be coming from the feline race. They call Sekhmet, but there is a prophecy about reactivating a Stargate. So, we will be going there. So if you want to check that place out, Trevor, I'm pretty sure that you will find it pretty interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a handful of really important spots that, you'll probably be going to Tel El Amarna, where the tombs are. Tuna Gebel, you're going over there. Tuna Gebel is an actually underground city. It's referred to as an underground city. We go there. Parts of it are open that we can walk through and look. It's endless catacombs. There's over 1,000 tunnels there. It spans over 50 acres underground. Wow. Massive tunnel network. And we believe that actually connects underground.
Hundreds of those bird mummies under there too.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I still
thousands, millions, baby.
Yeah, I mean, these tunnels are packed full. It was a Thoth cult at one point. This is what they call it. In general, completely. It might have been other things beforehand, but basically they just considered a Thoth cult because they had all these hawks and ibis, like Thoth and Horus, and Thoth Jehuti. This is the keeper of the wisdom, the bringer of the arts and sciences and writing and all that. So that's actually what the area was known as, if anything, before Akhenaten really put it on the map as his capital. So it's like the stuff in Amarna that you find, it's all either related to Akhenaten directly of the 18th dynasty, who's one of the most amazing, important, intriguing pharaohs of all history in Egypt, or it's to do directly with Thoth Jehuti and the mystery school wisdom. So there's Yeah, I wouldn't take up too much time to get into it, but there are several projects we're working at in Amarna that are really exciting, that are going to be coming out throughout this year. My friend Angela Michael, she's been studying this one pyramid, a couple pyramid structures in the desert, or they're natural structures that she's suggesting could have been pyramids, either that were carved down from hills or added on with casing blocks, or there's a lot of important things underneath them. So we just checked that one out a few months ago. And yeah, there's a couple other sites at Amarna too that I don't know. I hope to get out more information about, but some of them need to remain protected, so I can't really.
And sometimes it's better not to talk about it, just to go there. You know, it's like you can kind of arrange it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're going here.
But it's a magical place. And if you go with me or YssaH, I'm sure you have a wonderful time.
Yeah. Or you can come with both. You know.
There you go. Come and stay. So yeah, now
Not
let me
possible.
just mention that when you have Trevor Grassi coming to your conference, like he doesn't do a lot of them, right? And and plus,
there we go.
Plus, I
I've
know
only presented it one. This will be my second.
Yeah, and plus he's like, okay, Trevor's my buddy, right? So he's going to bring us some stuff that's going to be real cool that no one has seen before, right, Trevor? You're going to show us some stuff. Yeah, Trevor's going to show us some stuff. So I mean, you already know online. You watch and everybody's echo chambering the same crap back and forth, you know, the same pictures you've seen, the same places. You never see that on Trevor's sites. You know, he's always.
I'm not showing up to the Mortals of Earth conference without some brand new material. I'm actually having trouble deciding which new material to bring because I could do 5 presentations. It's stacked up, so much stuff I haven't even begun to release. Things in Egypt, things in Central America, Guatemala, Mexico, America, like you're talking about Cuba. There's a lot of submerged ruin stuff I'm getting into that's all just so exciting. So I'm actually having trouble picking which pieces to bring there. I don't know if I should mention this. I mean, I won't mention it as a definite thing, but I will say we've got this one potential piece that we could bring on, I think, the first night, the 31st, if we did it on the 31st. I'll just say we might have our buddy John Charles Moyen and I recorded an interview that's very interesting to do with.
By the way, he's here. He's saying hi. Yeah.
I'm
not putting the comments because then they are blocking JP's face and we don't want that. Yeah.
You can leave it. I'll be right here. You can put the comments on.
I'll put it so I can watch it
right here.
Yeah.
Hey, John Charles, like
all the comments there.
John Charles has been like he would love to be here. But the thing is like, and he said on the 31st he was talking about, and I said, you know, there's going to be people that are coming to this conference that I have to help them understand, because Jean Charles brings a whole nother dimension, you know, because he's got, I mean, you talk about a child that vanishes in front of his parents on the beach, you know, I mean, you're starting with that. And then you've got a whole level of physics that
and on top of that, the evidence that he brings, you know, and the collaboration, I can attest to his experience on the Arks. You know, I've been on different Arks, also in 7th Special Forces Unit in Eglin Air Force Base with other soldiers. I'm in touch with 3rd Group, Herbert Field, that have heard of the Arks that John Charles Moyen have talked about. So, and then Japan too. It's a mixture of collaboration with his stories. So,
you know, well, his keeps unfolding and getting stranger and more interesting, and you know, temporal elements that are. It really, we talk about how, you know, time is not what we think it is, but I mean that is he's a living example, and he's got okay, you know, you got a videotape from 20 years ago, you go to play it, it's moldy or the thing breaks or whatever. And he's been able to like dig these things out, get them, recover evidence, things that could have so easily been lost. You know, thank God his parents were like really dedicated and listened to him and didn't, you know, treat him the way most parents would if they, you know, had a kid telling them the things that he said. So
by the way, he's saying that he could be at the conference remotely. Maybe.
Yeah, well, that's what I was getting at. Is we talked about maybe bringing him in for a Q&A anyways, because I've got this interview I've been sitting on for so long. And once again, Jean-Charles, I'm so sorry, man. It's been over a year at this point. And
we
really
dropped an interview when we were in Sedona. I grabbed him and said, Jean-Charles, we're gonna record something now. So I sat him down and said, Are you sure with your phone? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna record it with my phone. And
that's exactly what happened.
And we did it we did a YouTube video. I dropped it in my channel, he dropped it in his channel, and it's a success.
Yeah, that's what we did at Brian's conference last year. I just sat him down, hotel lobby, terrible audio, whatever. We just went for it. We had Brandon Niblett helping out, filming that one. But this is, I'm sure you've heard of his experience actually as an eyewitness to a UFO under the Sphinx. Yes. And that's something that everyone has talked about going back at least to 1939, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Everyone questions the validity of. We've had lots of talk about, there's ships under Giza. And look, I've seen more evidence than most to say that there are extraterrestrial connections at Giza. Okay.
Well, remember what room you're in when you say that, Trevor. Okay.
But I know I don't need to convince anyone here, but this is going to be the first time he has mentioned that experience before, but this interview is completely about him seeing the details of this ship, going up to it, touching it, going inside of it.
Of that ship that he saw, if it's similar to the one I saw in the Grand Canyon. It's like
well, he got into kind of tying it to other sites as well and talking about your experiences too, JP, and how they correlated. Wow. Yeah, we started talking about the Arks and underwater and things like that. Stasis beings in stasis that are preserved. I was telling, well, I won't spoil it all, but we could just premiere that
today I'm going to drop a video of a recollection of update number 14 I did with Dr. Michael Sala, January, I think, 14 of 2023. I talked with Dr. Michael Sala about my experience I had with the soldiers over here visiting the Ant Kingdom and visiting the Ant King. So I'm going to drop that video today. Called Visiting the Ant King. So I did what I do. I do use AI, but I do it like 50 times to get the exact or good reaction that I want to visualize to see how similar it was. So each AI video takes me like 2 hours to try to get it just as right. And I know everybody has tried to do that here using AI. I just wish it could be easier, but I tried like 50 times to try to get the exact, and I can show you one video here just to show you what I'm working on and what I'm going to drop today.
So while you're looking for, let me just mention. So you got a guy here, JP, who's like talked like telepathically to the Ant King in the presence of ant people underground, showing us. Here we go.
Yeah, that's how I have seen them when they have contacted me.
Wow, they're beefier than I thought.
Exactly. Wow. Exactly the same. Wow, exactly the same. Yeah.
And
perhaps the clothes were different, but the face is exactly the same, and they were a little bit taller. I mean, I am shorter, so perhaps that's why.
You know, without the antennas, it looks like one of the figures that just came out of the ground in Tula that's coming to the conference. There's three figures, the face on it. Okay, now that I'm seeing, because this is the first time that JP is.
This is the first time I'm showing this. And when I first entered to the Ant Kingdom, we had a line of them. And I'm 6 foot, right? So these guys were like, prior of entering their kingdom, these guys were like 6'6", almost 7 foot, where their hair and tennies, they stand right beside you and they look at you, studying you up and down to see who you are. And I think their antennaes or their hair or whatever you want to call that, they use it and they can telepathically communicate with each other because of the vibration that they send out through the antennaes, and they can pick up the vibration, but we can also hear like a voice. It's like similar to having tinnitus when you hear a high pitched sound, but you hear, instead of sound, you hear vocalization. So
Yeah. That was exactly my experience that I also shared with you, JP. You know, when they called me in a cave, inside of a cave, and then they took me to an ark in Portugal with the Nordics.
So I'm noticing that they line up almost like military does, you know, like
yeah, they're like it's a kingdom vibe. The way they got different ranks. Um, they study you on what you're wearing, and they're really muscular, and they're it's like a muscular, but it's a hard muscular.
like
It's not
they have
like
the
us.
exoskeleton, like they're
It's
like
not
armor.
like us. It's like they naturally create like a natural shell, like if there were a beetle or a natural shell, and I assume that it breaks off when they keep growing, like it sheds off, like in shells, similar to what happens to turtles or other species. And their head, when you look at their head, right? Their eyes look like a shell as well. Their eyes look like a
Yes.
shell as well. So
Yeah.
I think there's technology involved with their facial features. It could be like a biological thing that they wear to protect themselves. But it looks organic. It looks like we picture our clothes regular, right? But imagine wearing something that is like a live or leatherish that you can just put on, and it turns into like it connects to your skin,
To the
and it's
skin.
like a clothes that when you wear it, it fits into your skin, and it shells you, and it hardens, but you can still move like if it was a tight leather type of clothing. So I think their facial features are more human like, but what they wear, what they put on, it makes it look crackish, or it makes them look buggish looking like ants. But I think if they take that off, it's more like us, like if they were us. But I think they wear that for a reason. I think it's for thousands of years they've been living that way.
Let me just mention, we have JP who's seen ant people telling us exactly what they look like. You guys are so lucky. I mean, okay, so I just saw the picture you just showed. It doesn't look like there's a room for a lot of expression, right? So when you're getting a vibe from them, it's pretty much a feeling. They're not expressing anger or fright or aggression.
It still moves, but yeah, you don't get a lot. You get it more in the feeling when you communicate with them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's like you, like exactly as how I saw them, JP. Exactly as how I saw them, but with no
blink. Their eyes is like, look, let me show you.
Yeah, exactly like that, but without uniform. They were just telepathically communicating with me.
So black, like a gray, like sometimes has a big flat gray eye, like it's almost like a technology of something that goes over the eye.
This maybe when I walked in, how it looks like, and it took me like 50 times to figure it out.
Oh, yeah! Look at that. So
and
these big spacious.
I'll this video today, and let's see what happens.
That's a lot of color too. So when you're down there, you've got that was. I see a lot of that's the king.
Well, we have seen some artifacts with beings with those type of crowns. I actually pulled out of the ground a cone head being with like made of black stone with a crown of that type. You know, so
and you wonder if that crown is a technology. Wow.
I had to do this like 50 times to get it exact. Like their hands have like freckles on it, and you can see like it's so cool how they and it has similar end features, like if they were humanoids, like if they, you know.
Well, you know that there are the prophecies, the Hopi prophecies of the ant people in Sedona. Now that I was there, I mentioned this yesterday. there are a lot of ants coming to the surface in a very not in a very organic way. Like they are making holes one next to the other, like thousands of them in an area. So they're definitely communicating. I think that a lot of things are coming to the surface. Even now in Tennessee, they discovered like these niches with jars and what would be death scrolls inside of them, and they are written in Aramaic.
Or you're talking about that Michigan find.
It was in Tennessee.
Tennessee. That looks like bees' nests.
Niches, exactly. Niches. Yes.
This reminds me of the skull that you guys found, the head shape.
Are you still in communication with them, JP? Or do they communicate to you through visions?
I know through where my forest behind my house, there's entrances of different like sponge-like cave systems that look like sponge. It's similar to Ponce de Leon, and I have communicated with Nordics, but I haven't communicated with the ant beings since I think the end of 2024, and I haven't done that update because it wasn't relevant. But I think the last part of 2024, I communicated with the ant people.
Yeah,
I'm getting interested because the three of you are all from areas like where I'm sitting right now. 12,000 years ago, I would have been under 2 miles of ice, right? So everything here was kind of crushed and smashed, but there's still a lot of really interesting, odd things that shouldn't be here because of 12,000 years ago, things that exist like stone circles and artwork of mastodon that shouldn't have been here because they should have been killed by the time that had happened. And then Drago Reed was asking me, because the one place I want to do the Skywatch used to be a military base for World War II, and he was talking about, is there underground stuff there? And I'm thinking, I didn't think about it, right? So you guys with your sensitivities and the places you have been coming here is going to be very interesting for me, because I grew up here, and it feels very, very different from when I go to other places. But I think that there was probably a reason why there was 2 miles of ice under it, over us. I think there was something. I think there was a reason why this was, covered up for a long time.
I feel it. Yeah, I feel it kind of cloaked, actually. Like the whole area cloaked energetically. Like there has been something waiting to be activated, and through this that will be taking place there, and the seeds that will be planted, and all the work that we will do on connecting with the galactics, I'm pretty sure that things will start coming to the surface, because of course things are coming everywhere across the world for sure. Yet now what is going to happen in the Americas, it's critical for me for the next stage of human evolution. For me, even I was receiving that Sedona and all Arizona is going to be transferring the codes from Septepi, Egypt, before being Kemet, because there is a lot of connection. I mean, now that I was there were shown to me pyramids, like visions, and I even took pictures of mountains that on the top have monolithic rocks, the size and the shape as the ones that we find in the valley, in the Temple of the Valley.
Oh, wow.
Plateau. It's huge. It's impressive. So it's just now waiting to be discovered. So a very exciting time, guys.
Well, there's so much now because of these new technology. But I mean, Trevor, I'm not going to give anything away, Trevor, but Trevor was just like using tools available to all of us and discovering new things, right? And then we know about, Beyondi's scanning and also the LIDAR that's uncovered tens of thousands of structures in, Central South America. And we've got these things that are emerging from, the ocean and mountainsides and extreme antiquity, like on the island of Delos. I've mentioned to a couple of you before that Nassim Haramein was climbing at the top, and it looks like a 100,000-year-old quarry. You could tell the rock was quarried. It was that worn down. You're thinking 100,000 years. We're talking we think it's ancient. We're talking 17,000, 20,000, 40,000. So there's a whole big story here, and I'm hoping that between the galactics that we've been in touch with, the under, the ant people, the ant people. That's the one thing, JP, that I've learned from your one-on-one experiences. They're very highly technological, almost beyond mechanical to organic technology.
Organic is similar to what you guys are finding with the Bugosphere, and other probably skulls that have different types of metal alloy connected into it, that if you put it in another location, it activates and the lights turn on. So depending of how they're really smart in building technology that uses electricity or communicates with the biological being itself. So if you interact with it, it downloads memory of past or future events that may occur, or events that probably occurred already in another dimension. Then you get into that different dimensions, lines of dimensions.
So your bloodline, though, your DNA seems to interact with some of these locations in a way that you're valued by some of these programs, right? So it's not, you're living inside of it, so it's probably not something you can describe. But when you're there with other people and these things are happening, like you're seeing, you've, forgive me for putting words in your mouth, but you described like things that look like hieroglyphs, they're very ancient looking, and you come in and things kind of like start operating or turning on.
Oh, like, this has been happening, like I told you, with my dad. And I actually made a render of my dad experience when he was I don't know if you can see it, but
slightly
right here. Let me see. That's my dad, an actual picture of my dad. Let me see. I gotta bring down the lighting. There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
That was in Puerto Rico. And that's exactly what you saw in the distance. Okay, let me bring the lighting even down more. Okay. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And behind there's a lake that goes down in the middle of Puerto Rico, and my father felt that, and I'm sure my grandpa also went through an experience as well. So it's a generational type of thing that they found.
He looks like he's about 10 years old there.
Yeah, he was like 11 and all that. But wait till the military shows people what we're finding now. Similar to like Nazca lines, like this is an example. I just want to show this an example. I know I'm using this a lot, but I should have sent YssaH. You see this right here? And I think I sent this to YssaH. Wait, is it here or?
It's actually the light is too loud.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is by, I think, northeast from Israel. Okay. You see what I'm circling right there?
Yes.
From space, guess what that looks like? Okay, I'm gonna show you.
Looks like something Trevor showed me lately.
The Orion, the Orion map. And if you align these stars to these cities in the Middle East,
yes,
you see those 3 stars.
Yeah.
And it's also, if you put it upside down, guess what? So it doesn't matter how you approach Earth. If you come and approach it the other way, guess what? It looks the same way.
The same mirror effect. Yeah.
Look at that. And these are real cities in the Middle East.
It's interesting because Gary David, one of the researchers, he had found some natural, what were believed to be natural structures out in the like Midwest and around like the same Sedona, Four Corners area, which is, I mean, it's obvious why a lot of this stuff is centered in that area between the Hopi and Zuni and the different people who have been concentrated in that area, the actual vortex of Sedona and the energy that's there. I think some of this technology you're talking about could actually be related to the location. Like you have to use, like you're talking about time, I don't know, quantum factors or elements in this tech. Maybe that is something that's designed to be used on the intersection of these ley line points. And when you look at the ley line grid in the US, you really only have two of the major nodes, one of which is out in that area near Sedona, near Area 51, and near one of my favorite interviews I've seen from you, JP, was about the Grand Canyon. When you talked to Michael Sala about the Grand Canyon, I would love to have a chat with you about this too, and maybe
of course.
That would take the whole hour up.
Karen Hill, she found a location and opening of that location. So I know you guys know Karen, right? Karen Hill.
No.
She's a good friends of mine. She was with me last time over there. Do you remember? She was always with me in the table.
Yes, I know her. Yeah, I know her. Yes.
So something that I put out not too long ago in the maps, I put this location right here that is right by. It's called, and I know you Trevor is probably familiar with this place. It's called, man, I need glasses. I forgot my glasses. White Sands. Okay, the White Sands. Have you heard about the White Sands?
Yes.
No.
That was a location that looks similar to Oleski Sands. Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, the freaking light pollution. There we go. I'm sorry. Okay, this is White Sands. Oh, stop zooming. Hold on. Okay, that's White Sands.
Okay.
That's White Sands. And right there, we do have a type of arc that's under the White Sands. Okay. Now
that's like a nuclear test facility too, right? Is that correct? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, nuclear site. But guess what? Look at this. This is Ukraine Oleski Sands.
Yeah, this place in Ukraine makes no sense that there's a desert there. You look all the way around it, and the fact that that's a desert in that spot, climatically, it makes no sense.
There's also an arc there, and then you go to
there's a big black pyramid in Ukraine people talk about. Supposedly a lot of people have gotten close to it and actually encountered some very strange beings, have been told to leave. I've heard before.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure if that's the same spot. Is that what you're talking about? Did you say Ukraine? Someone just said.
Yeah, it's Oleski Sands.
Yeah.
Right. And then Brazil, there's another location that looks the same. You got another location in South Africa or by the Congo, north of the Congo, that looks the same. And they're all like you measure, and it's similar. They're all similar sizes of the arcs.
So here is the deal, like you're talking about similar or exact measurements as in the pyramids, everything with such a high precision. For me, this is like a rock solid proof that the holofractal field is the technology that they would use actually to map all of this, and that when you're talking about activating, you're activating through that very same holofractal field. Because now my question is, I would love to know what you think about this, guys, but why are all the arcs interconnected in this cosmic nexus? Why are all these technologies mirroring our biology? Why precisely in those places? And you and I have talked about that, JP. Are they meant to be activated at one time? Bring them on all together. I have things to say about this, but I would love to hear what you have to say first.
Well, wait, so hold on before you answer, because I want to just mention that I think structurally the entire Earth is from the beginning like constructed in a way to energetically do what you're saying, and then the arcs maybe are part of it. The arcs are so ancient, they could be billions of years old for all we know, right? So anyway, yeah, there you go. So like I didn't meet. So anyway, JP, go ahead. I just wanted to say that, like
all I'm saying, we're a species of amnesia. We forget who we are. and these technologies bring us back alive, bring us back online, let's say online, and connect it to everybody with each other and other dimensions. So we're just a species of amnesia. We forget who we are sometimes, and we go back to living in caves, and then we start all over again. But I don't think that will happen again. With
I would say, I think process. When you're on these energy points on the grid, the nodes are kind of like, it's almost like a USB plug. This is where you can plug into the mind and memory that's within the earth itself. It's where you can tap into the memory, the Akasha, basically. And I think this is why you see all these connections. For instance, in Greece, you have what's called the Omphalos stones, which means the navel. They're all called navels all over the world, which means this point from which the energy is brought in. So it is a biological, absolutely, like one of you just said, that it's like the earth is mimicking the biological function of a human being. It's the same exact thing as our nervous system.
It has a heartbeat,
It's got breath, heartbeat, all these different climates.
The lava is the blood.
It's got all the signs of an organic being, I would say.
It
has these specific points where you can tap into the collective. This is why I think the Oracle at Delphi and things like this, a lot of times you'll have people who are dealing with things that projecting into the future or past, or, Bermuda Triangle, for example, and the 12 other like it. There are places where you get these time slips and different things, and where it's kind of a thinner barrier between you and this quantum realm, or to other dimensions, if you'd call it that.
Well, that's the thing. We want to be blood cells for planet Earth. We don't want to be fleas.
If you think of it in that way.
Or a virus, as a lot of people has defined themselves, human being viruses to the earth.
Well, if you imagine like each one of your skin cells is fighting with each other over whether it wants to be a skin cell or a blood cell, it's like, no, all the skin cells just have to function within their community to make the larger environment actually survive.
So I just want to mention to everybody, like, see this interaction going here? This is what we're going to have plus more at Disclosure Mackinac, because we got these amazing people that have seen beyond the veil, that are going to be able to talk and bring these things up. And we've all seen things, but we all have mysteries that we're still putting together too. And so when we come together, along with the energy of the people coming together, it's going to elevate, it's going to evolve, and we're going to make connections. So I know we're going to lose JP in about 8 minutes. So we want to get our money's worth out of him here. Okay. So okay, we got a guy here who's like been, off the planet, who's seen other places and been, on other technologies and other ships. And our government is starting to tell us. They got Dr. Phil now explaining things, so everybody can kind of catch on, right? And and this thing that was just done, this executive order about the
NDAs.
The NDAs, yeah. So I know you've been, because it was talked about for a while before it happened.
Whistleblower protections you talk about?
Yeah. So is there, like, I know that you still have to be careful about what you talk about, even with that, because there's things that are security problems. And but beyond that, we're just seeing that there was have you seen this thing about Nixon left a time capsule someplace and nobody quite knows where it is, or if it's been taken because he wanted to hide this, this
the dark journalist was talking about?
Yeah, the dark journalist was talking about it. Yeah. So we've got, like, JP is experiencing like ghosts, like there's Russian guys, there's Chinese guys. It's like there's already kind of a global Earth kind of based united force, kind of, right?
Yeah. We I think we're humans, and yes, we have. There's always going to be, oh, I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. No, I could talk better than you. No, I can. No, there's always going to be that. We're humans, it's. But I think it's going to come a point that we're gonna have to stick around together and work together as much as we can to bring disclosure and to bring these technologies to light and to show these archaeological finds that we're finding, to show the real truth of humanity, the real truth of spirituality, the real truth of dimensions, the real truth of what's really watching us in our surroundings. Who are these shadow beings? Who are these other beings that communicate with us and they just disappear in thin air and have their ships disappear in thin air? Who are these Arks? Who build these Arks and these ancient places that we all visit in a daily basis? So a lot of questions is going to be revealed. I think the Vatican is going to be involved to try to involve more people. And like you said, we got other celebrities that are coming out now saying the things that we have been saying for years, just to level the playing field out and to have people be comfortable around. And look at that. Just I'm going to show you this last thing.
Anna Luna telling Congress to read the Book of Enoch. Amazing times. Amazing.
But look what the White House just dropped. Where is it? Hold on. Let me see.
You gotta kind of love it. There's no explanation. All of a sudden they post something, you know.
Okay, right there. Okay, yeah. Make it big. Hold on.
Put me in the front screen.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, Futurama. Oh, here we go.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Is it Rick and Morty? Oh, okay.
Yes.
The White House just posted this.
Really?
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Oh.
What?
Wow.
The White House just posted this today. It's
Wow.
all over. And I'm going to post it in my new video. Let me show you one more time and look at the details of what they're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Artemis 2, portals in the background,
Yeah.
AI,
Well,
the
he's taking
president
his
flying
face
a UFO.
I think the new Air Force One is really a UFO too. I think that played.
Yeah.
Well, the guy in the Capitol taking his face off, you know. And
Yeah.
AI.
Exactly. Wow.
It could be like we're ready. I think humanity is ready. I think we're gonna work together. I think we're gonna have a Star Trek future. I believe positive things is gonna happen, and I believe the black hats will lose, and we're gonna prevail, and we're gonna be happy in this universe. That's what we need to project. That's what we're projecting. That's what we're finding in the past, and we want no more destructions. You know, they are finding things in Iran, Afghanistan, in the caves of Iran, where they have the biggest river caverns in Iran. They're finding these reptilian type of people that are protecting this technology. That it deals with portal, and it deals with it gets really out there with the things that they're finding, but it is what it is. Let's just.
It's okay. Reptilians and insectoids are real now. I saw it on Fox News, so it is real now.
Yeah.
So,
And I know it's real. Yeah. Well,
we can now. It's okay.
I was just going to say, so we all have a job here because we've all seen our glimpses of things, and there's going to be a lot of people. They're going to be really surprised. They're going to be kind of upset. Maybe some of them will be scared, and it's up to people like us to kind of hold their hand through it, because you know you guys are all on my timeline. This is a good timeline, so you're doing something right, okay? And so we're gonna work together, and we're gonna help him along, and we're gonna take back our realm, right?
Yeah.
There we go. There we are.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
That is the pine cone. That is the pine cone. Okay, listen, for anybody who doesn't know, this was given to JP by a Nordic being from a craft. He just kind of smiled at you. He did or whatever Nordic does. And
the little one by YssaH. Yeah, there is one.
So when he yes, he's in there with it.
No.
So when he's in there, this is coming to Mackinac, to disclosure at Mackinac, this pine cone for the Skywatch, right? And we're gonna have some handbags. You can pick one with it. This is gonna be an epic moment. We got to get some good images of this and what happens afterwards. And everybody keep an eye on this. Look at this pine cone, because we're trying to identify like where, what is this? What species? Is it from here? I mean, it came off of a dude from a ship, so we don't know. Is it from the past? Is it from the future? Is it a new something that's going to bring us something?
Yeah.
Trees are, they hook into the nodes and the networks, the mycelium and the Earth network. This could be a plug to help us decode. We don't, this is probably one of the most valuable pieces of organic evidence on the Earth right now in his hand.
Yeah.
And it's coming to Mackinac. He's gonna give us
that big, but it has a lot of seeds in there, and we're checking the land over there in Mackinac to see if we can break 2 or 3 and just plant them over there. Because I talked to a botanist, they researched it, they had it for a couple days, and she said it's related to the sequoia. It's related to sequoia, and there's no sequoia. The only ones that we have here are these, where I live.
Yes.
And look at the difference.
Absolutely. Yeah.
These are the only species that live right near my house. There's no sequoia or nothing in Florida like this.
It kind of reminds me of a couple of years ago, there was a story. I don't remember really everything about it, but there were some seeds that were supposedly fell into the wrong hands, went to Europe somewhere, but they were gifted. Maybe, do you remember this story? I think it was of some kind of bioluminescent plant, perhaps.
Wow.
I think JP might have been involved in this, if I remember it right. There was something that was changing hands that went to the wrong people. Yeah,
I think you were. Like, it sounded like some Rothschilds took it or something.
Yeah, it was us.
Yeah.
They gave us a seed, and they brought it to King Charles, or whoever was in charge at the time. He was sick at the time, and he got healed, and they brought back the seed to the same location. And that seed originated from the United States, off the shore of the United States of America, from the ocean.
You reminded me, JP, because that there is this lady YssaH that in some ancient texts they connect her, with the time of Yahweh and so forth. But I'm talking about this Sumerian text. They called her the Lady of the Trees. And we know how all these ancient textbooks always say planting the seeds. So I'm pretty sure that what will emerge from those seeds will be huge. Right now I'm already, getting all these codes that is very much connected to not only you, yet to some of the seeds of your lineage from this very high dimensional standing point of view, like your gift to the earth, this is why it was handed into you, so.
And you've seen, I'm sorry, you were just talking about as far as like these seeds and the trees and the things. JP, under the earth, you have seen trees and things that don't look normal for You've been other places too.
I've been to biodomes, to different locations with other soldiers, botanists, and other people that are in charge of extinct animals or extinct plant species. So there's plants that I was talking to Emery Smith the other day, and I told him, hey, I saw a plant that you describe in Gaia TV. You know, it moves and it can grab its victim, similar to the Venus flytrap, but their vines move. It can grab a victim and it can drag them in and close them up. He says, yeah, we have them in the biodomes.
What about the trees in Socotra? We were talking about this the other time. I don't know if you guys, Frank and Trevor, have seen the island of Socotra or the archipelago of Socotra. They have these trees that they look like just taken from outer space.
Oh yeah, and then you got Madagascar too.
They bleed.
If you cut them, they bleed.
Exactly. They call them dragon trees.
Yeah.
And even all the animal species there are unique. Like you won't find them anywhere else.
Nowhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So before it slips my mind, and before JP goes, we don't want you to go, by the way. But when you were saying that these reptilian species in Iran underground have been, taking care of these technologies, there is this master skull that it always comes to my mind. One of the first master skull that we found in Tula that has the eye-headed being at the center, and then on her or its it would be right, it's receiving beings in which traveling in what I call the solar arc. There are bird beings, cephalopods, elongated skull beings, and Anubis. And then it's pointing out to her left, it looks very feminine actually, to the left. And there are these reptilians, and they look like they hijacked the technology they have behind of them, like protecting them, like trying to hide them, obelisks, cubes, and other type of technologies. So for me, when I was asking about what do you guys think about the unified nexus, cosmic nexus of all of these technologies, for me, we are meant to restore them, reactivate them, empower them through our own biological vessel. This is why they are mirroring into our own physical vessel.
So basically it was geometry, it was geometric kind of things that they were hiding, because you're, obelisks and the different shapes of. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, all those, I keep wanting to bring up.
Yes, exactly.
The Romanian Sphinx and Radu Cinemar. You're familiar with that, JP? The Radu Cinemar series about the Romanian Sphinx and what was under there? It's just one example of a type of technology that's being described that is similar to what you're saying, YssaH, with that some of these technologies are really more interfaces with the human body that are designed to actually turn you on, the technology that within you on, to activate your chakra system, to enhance or amplify your ability to use thought forms in different ways and to access other times, and potentially to this one chair that was described in that book under the Giza Plateau. They were saying this one guy sat in it, he literally projected his consciousness back in time and sat down with Jesus, listening to speak on the streets, similar to the chronovisor or the looking glass type stuff. So I think I think it's some of the technology that I'm working, my whole life to try and resurrect this sacred science, as I call it. It's really something that's about the science of enlightenment, and it's designed to actually activate you biologically, everything already built into you, to tap into these higher fields and higher aspects of yourself, unlock your own faculties of higher senses, higher perception, things like that. And then you learn everything from yourself. So
I want to mention. Well, I'm sorry. I want to hold your thought, but I got to mention this really quick. I noticed that one of the people that signed up for the conference, and I don't know whether I will be public about it. I have to ask if she's comfortable with. Is the woman that Preston Nichols and the other guy from Montauk went to find, that said that they had manifested her from the future as a baby, and they had to find her to tell her what happened. She's coming to the conference. Which anyway, just wanted to throw that in, because one more interesting thing about disclosure.
Mackinac has a deep history with presidents, if you know what I'm talking about, Frank, and past things that have happened. And I don't know if you're going to talk about it, or
Kathy O'Brien was saying that Mackinac Island, which is like right over there, was Epstein Island before Epstein Island was Epstein Island. And these guys tend to use places that are very energetic and sacred for their own purposes, right? And
that's why Epstein Island is in Atlantis.
Crazy.
So before they used that, they used this, right? And I don't know whether they still might
Palm Beach Pete.
There you go. Yeah.
Poor guy, man. He's like, I'm not Epstein.
He should just get T-shirts and go, start a Shopify store.
So guys, I'm heading out. I'm sorry. I love you guys so much.
No, come on, no.
Hey, thank you for making the time for us, JP. I appreciate it.
Yeah, let's chat about the Grand Canyon some other time, JP.
For sure.
That'd be awesome.
I got some good intel coming out with that, so I'll probably.
If you're signing up for online, use code JP for your coupon, and there you go.
Any words that you want to say before?
Sure. Keep that love frequency always in high alert. We're living tough times right now. Yeah, there's a lot of hatred, there's a lot of things, but if we keep that love frequency and we bring that to Mackinac, we bring that to different places that we go to bring the truth and the revelation of these ancient technologies and the revelation of hidden truth, I think we'll be better off bringing the golden age and a Star Trek future. Okay, I love you guys so much. Akuria mate. Heaven to earth.
Love you too. See you.
All right.
Yeah, beautifully said. See you soon. Talk to you soon. Yeah. So, okay.
Okay. So now we got Trevor. We're gonna grill him. Okay.
Yeah. Prepared. Are you prepared, Trevor? Yeah. Or have you listened
to be grilled?
Yeah.
Yep. Marinated, all ready to go.
I've got the barbecue, the Egyptian barbecue. So.
Well, so let me just say, so Trevor, you think of Trevor and you think of Egypt, but Trevor is got working on a lot of different things, right? I mean, I personally crawled through a jungle with him, and he's got, working with. Well, we don't want to overwhelm anybody here, but let's just say there is much to be uncovered all around the globe. And the writings are there, and the thing is that Trevor has the background and the respect for like the writings of Edgar Casey and other ancient writings to kind of know where to look. And it's also, he's like the guy who talks to this one, this networking and this cross communication that Trevor has brought about is amazing to me. The number of people and the networking that he can do is, I don't know.
Nothing compared to you, my friend.
I'm telling you, the fact that he's coming to my conference,
the nexus of energy that made this conference happen. Everyone gravitated to you like a black hole, dude. Everyone was.
Okay. I can't.
We all started swirling around.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I have some of that myself. A lot of people have gravitated to these subjects that I happen to be putting myself into the middle of, and then it's just it's kind of obligatory. I have to do the work to kind of take the the responsibility of the positions I end up finding myself in, which can be always really exciting, but it's also sometimes a lot going on. But yeah, it's coming together. I don't know. A lot of these things, like we're talking about underwater and Central America, there's a lot of that stuff going on. So I don't know if I feel like there's things we could talk about with the Cuban underwater city. There are ruins off the coast of Bimini that are really fascinating. There's actually something I can say now that I haven't talked about much yet, but we are going to be working on uncovering the pyramid city off of the coast of New Orleans, off of Louisiana. There's a pyramid complex underwater that we're going to be getting into that soon, hopefully doing some underwater photogrammetry of this, getting some really amazing new documentation of it, building models, hoping to do some of that to some of the other underwater sites as well. Like in Bimini, there have been, I don't know, these are kind of big subjects to open up here. I'm not saying we got to get into any of these specifically, but just to round out some of this stuff that's in the Americas and off the coast here.
Just take notes, everybody, because when you see him around the campfire in Mackinac, you can ask him about these.
Exactly.
Yeah, or I don't know, the public can vote on what you want me to cover at the conference, because there's many directions it could go. The Piedras Negras material is a major one for me. Piedras Negras is a site that Frank and I went to earlier, just before going to Mexico and doing this work in Tula with YssaH and Sean. Piedras Negras is a site this is, again, like Giza, it's just years and years coming. I've known this was going to be a big one. And now that we've got our friend Marco Vigato involved in this, he's just absolutely brilliant. His film about our recent expedition there is going to be coming out any day now. And mine is also very close. I think I'm going to do a series on this one, because we've got just a full documentary on, there's so much to do with the actual confirmations I've found in the Mayan hieroglyphs that are at this site. And between them and the information from Edgar Casey, who is the reason why we're working there as well, he basically told us that there were 3 halls of records that had identical contents, including the one under the Sphinx at Giza, and Piedras Negras is one of those 3. So Edgar Casey pretty directly told us that at Piedras Negras, we can find the exact same Atlantean records brought there about 12,000 years ago or more that are also underneath the Sphinx. But in Guatemala, we don't have to deal with ayahuasca.
Well,
so that's a big bonus.
And I think I know where they are. Trevor wants to look in a big hole, but I think I know where they are without going in the big hole. But maybe we have to go in the big hole to get to where I think they are.
I am going in the big hole. This is what's been described as the largest cenote in the entire Maya kingdom by some. Might be an exaggeration. Most agreed it's probably at least the largest cenote in Guatemala. But man, when we looked over the edge of this thing, it's like Jurassic Park, The Lost World. It's a dry cenote, and the floor of it is hundreds of meters down below, even at the shallowest edge of the top cliff.
Trevor,
with like trees growing, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay, Frank. I remember, I don't know which one of you guys said when I showed you the map that I drew, by through remote viewing about what I was picking up from the Hall of Records, that you had seen something there inside, right? Because I saw like 3 entrances, different entrances, and then now that you say this cenote, I even drew, like you have to go deep, or up, depending how you see it, from where you're entering from.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, from these earliest altars and stelas that are there in the Mayan hieroglyphs, you have these incredibly ancient dates, like on what's called altar 1, this stone, the oldest of which there's a date inscribed in Mayan hieroglyphs, no less, of 7,076 BC is what it is. 7,000 BC. And of course, the Mayas were all AD. They weren't BC at all. It was a much, much later thing. So how do you have this date, 9,000 years in the past inscribed there? And it's listing an event that occurred at that time. So this is some linear memory that must have been sustained through some type of writing system. And this also raises the question of this another amazing mystery from Mexico, actually, the Cascajal tablet, which is actually the first tablet that's proven that the Olmec had a writing system, and opens up this whole other avenue of that we basically know there's this cache of about 20,000 tablets at La Venta, the Olmec capital, that are underground. We basically know exactly where they are, and Marco and I at least are pretty convinced that this could be the most ancient library of texts in the Western Hemisphere. Because no one even believed a writing system existed. But these things, 20,000.
So I'm thinking we need like a Trevor Grassi sizzle reel for the conference, because we need like a bit of this, a bit of this, a bit of this. And if you don't do it, I will, because I've got it, too. I mean, I don't have everything. Yeah, I don't have everything. But I got, I'm trying to think, do I want to finish the Coral Castle film? I've got the Mexican expedition, I think, is going to just have to be a teaser.
We have to cover a lot of that.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to show the amazing stuff, right? But then I don't think the story's finished yet.
No, we are to continue that. We are to continue that, because we're just touching the surface. So we later on have to talk about that, guys, because this will definitely just be like, a sneak peek. But Ines is coming to Machina, as you said, Frank. And for the people that don't know much about Ines, as Frank was saying, she's an amazing physicist. She was working with Nassim Haramein, and now she has a school, Serendipia, that she just opened, but it's online, and she's bringing forward all these amazing modalities to study quantum physics, yet from the unified field, not the standard model. So she was a witness of that dig, so we will have.
It's always good to have a scientist, scientist there with you, along with us. And also what I really like is we got YssaH, who's like, I call her an intuitive physicist, right? Because it's not like, YssaH's got like, a credentialed physicist, and the two of them it's like this, so you get a feeling for how this knowledge structure of the universe ties together, because like Emery says, YssaH will talk about things that haven't even been invented yet, and just like says it right out, right? And I'm always telling people, like, don't be afraid if we say the word physics or quantum. It's not like we're going to give you a math quiz, okay? We're going to like teach you how it's kind of integrated into how everything works together, because things are going to get more and more fluid and more strange. And the more you understand about it, the more you're going to feel at peace with it and be able to actually understand it's actually for our benefit. We've been repressed. We've been held back. We haven't been allowed to know how powerful we really are. And part of that power is making the world as beautiful a place as we are as people. People are amazing. People are beautiful. And us taking back our agency on this planet from, JP said a little bit about it too. It's like, there's some shit going on that we don't see that goes behind the scenes. And those guys could only use us and feed off us and be parasitic when we aren't aware of it. And they've had it. That's enough. Time's up. Okay. So part of it, recovering this where we came from, our ancient knowledge, our origins, in a big part of my book was researching what is out there. Like, I have a lot of anecdotal evidence that we're not natural, that we were created, that we were spliced together. And one thing I was going to, at some point I will talk to JP, maybe at the conference. The ant people, they have taken an interest in humans, and he has a real communication with them and a sense for their benevolence towards us. And I wonder, like, I have heard numbers, and I don't know what they're based on, of how many blends we are of genetically of other races. And I think that, that's part of us, is, the ant people and we've got reptile, right? And and then we've got these canids, these feline beings, these other ones. And I think that this all ties into us. And I think that they all feel like they own us, and they don't get along, right? Like, this is my sense. This is like how it works, is what I'm thinking.
But it seems to be leading in some sense to this concept that we're kind of the cream of the crop of all of it. Like, we kind of got the best of everything.
Exactly.
Is what, which is kind of,
and we've been kind of blinded to that understanding. But also, I think it's also probably for our own protection and probably for their protection, because psionically, and I was talking to JP about this, I think when we did the thing previously, that there are reptilian races that from the time they're hatched or born or however they're trained on their psionics, right? But one human that's in these military programs, and he didn't say no, and he gave me a big smile. I said that is trained psionically is worth 10 of them, right? So we are the mighty humans, right? And we're coming to take it back, and I'm not afraid of that. I'm not one of those people that thinks that people are all of the negative things. I mean, you could put rats in a under stress and make them attack each other, which is basically what they've been doing to us. And I have a chapter on they in my book too, if you want to know who they are. But
yeah, I can't wait to start reading your book, but I want you first signing it for me, and then I will write it, because I'm kind of old-fashioned. So I want to do it that way. But now that you're saying this, for me, it's like every time that I'm doing, using holofractal technology to do configurations in my reality, if I want some informational field to get aligned to call it cosmic law, universal law, or so forth, I create a cube and then put a specific geometries that will bring in the resonance inside of the information to come aligned to that source. So by means of this, what I'm saying is we're so powerful that I feel that we ourselves just forgot it. We have chosen to go through this process of remembrance until we get it right in the unity consciousness, as a unified consciousness, so that then we use our power properly. It's not because we are bad. It's not because we are so amazing that we know that it's important for us to deliver in a proper way with this amount of power, So, and for me, this is critical. If we assume that we ourselves chose this, then hey, this is my power. I chose this. I'm not giving my power to any external force I chose it, and I'm remembering why, so it's to become the ultimate version of myself, and actually handle all this power and all this responsibility, because I agree, we're the ultimate version of the whole, at least the whole galaxy, we are,
So this is okay. This comes up with something that's occurred over the last 24 hours. And maybe if you look at my online posts from the last 24 hours, you'll catch on to what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to be specific. But in this reality, when we have friction, we have conflict, we have forces against us, we need to thank them, because they're here to teach us something, and we need to use love. JP will say this all day long. It's our love, our power of love is the most powerful thing. Absolutely. And so, and all of our great teachers have always said that as well. So if as we're going through this, as things are getting strange, as things are getting a little bit slippery, just remember that it's our greatest power. It's our greatest source of energy. It's our greatest future. And it's our greatest way to deal with anything is love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's absolutely something that's you're both kind of nailing here, is that love is the unconditional love. Is, as Jesus said, Yeshua, so many other teachers, like you said, it's the key to accessing these higher levels of being, because ultimately it's true what they say, that all these different emotions and reactions all are really boiling down to one or two stimuli that ultimately all stem from fear or love. And if you are willing to choose that path of a loving path, that is literally the key to accessing some of the higher dimensions or the higher aspects of yourself. And yeah, like we were just saying before, it's like that's what a lot of these technologies, when Edgar Cayce says these record halls are not going to be open until this certain time when certain changes will come about within the human race, he's saying the exact same thing that Tesla said when he said it's difficult to give unlimited energy to limited minds. That's what he's saying. You have to have a level of maturity in order to actually be given the technology, because the technology is going to exponentially jump the consciousness up. And then when the consciousness takes a much higher leap, then much bigger technology can come out, and exponentially they both start kind of coalescing into this new Atlantis, this new golden age. So it's the very same thing. The reason why all these records were hidden in the first place is because this type of knowledge is too dangerous to be given to Kali Yuga minds, those who will create destruction out of it. It is truly unlimited power, the power of our own pineal gland, our consciousness. And that is, from what I've heard, at least from more angles than anything else, is that the real secret that makes humanity so special is that divine spark of having this source kernel of fractal piece of God basically within us that allows us to manifest things, that allows us to consciously reprogram the reality we're in. And that's something that, supposedly a lot of these other beings that we're going to be meeting in the coming years don't necessarily have, especially these reptilian type or very ones that are stuck in other types of existence.
The hive minds, yeah. I was going to ask JP about this because I've heard that there's been agreements going on, like trade agreements going on, because we've had an establishment, whether people understand it or not, we're all throughout the galaxy and other places, and that there are actively trade agreements going on. I'm not sure how that works financially. I'm not sure what's valued. I've heard that they value humans because we have ingenuity and we're very creative and we can solve problems. Maybe we're not doing it we're not growing organic ships that are blending with our consciousness yet, but that's just because we haven't been read in, right? We've kind of kept off, because you start manifesting things in 5D, you better control your temper, you better watch what have some discipline on what you're thinking of. So there is a bit of an evolution between here and there,
Yeah. If we talk about free energy, like we are all, 0 point energy. Yeah. Bring it here now. Yet if we are, and we experience, actually, if we experience what we are, how can we manifest collectively free energy if the energy within is pretty imprisoned mentally, emotionally, and even more, if we don't know how to tap into that infinite field of energy from within, if we don't fall in love with our vessel, if we don't fall in love with this aspect of ourselves that actually is unlimited, so for me, that is where it begins, us acknowledging and owning our own energy, becoming free energy ourselves, and then it will be manifested without, like Trevor was saying about all these technologies activating us. Yes, and us, it's back and forward, because then again, we talk about all these amazing species that were on Earth and unified consciousness, and like whether hive mind or in another way, like a unified consciousness. Yet, do we truly know what the implications to that are? Do we truly know it? Are we truly ready to embody? I know we are, guys, because we are co-creating pretty amazing things together and individually. So, and it takes a lot of love and humbleness to actually choose and desire and wish the best for the other, and actually do as corresponded for the other to have better opportunities, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah. On that subject, I've kind of had it's interesting. I've had multiple people actually come to me and tell me they've received messages they were supposed to give me about things that I'm going to find in Egypt and stuff like that. And some of them have specifically said that, like, we're going to find a free energy technology down there. And that's a big subject. It's a big controversial idea. It's free energy even possible? Well, essentially the universe itself is an over unity device. It exists. It's not nothing. And so that alone is, but not to get all philosophical, the idea is, like, I want to say that this ancient technology, it solves the energy thing, you know, whether it's actually 0 point energy or it's endless renewable forms of energy that are ever present. One way or another, you don't have to worry about the AC or the lights. We can get all that taken care of. And the second major problem solve that we can get from this ancient wisdom would be health, where you could heal the body of anything wrong with it. Not a problem. End of hospitals, end of drugs, end of pharmaceuticals, end of all that. Those are the two things that are automatically going to transform our world when we access these records, I believe, because those are the two biggest problems. You spend 90% of your paycheck on energy in one form or another: heat, electricity, food, gasoline. So if those two things alone came out from it, then Earth would be liberated. Done already. But what you are mentioning now, it's actually the highest knowledge in the mystery schools. The most protected, the most treasured wisdom is the knowledge about yourself, and this science of enlightenment, the systematic method of actually opening yourself up to higher levels of perception is maybe the best way to say it, you know.
I can't wait to be a machina together, you guys. You know, like having all this.
Oh, it's going to be so amazing.
I mean, look at this. Okay, so let me just jump here. So you got, okay, divine spark, right? And we're all pieces of this divine spark, right? And so I talk about this a lot, because what makes us different is we're all equal parts of that divine spark, but you're here, I'm here, you're here. And it's our point of view. It's our location is what's different. So whenever you have a different location, you have a different point of view. That's what keeps everything from being boring. I was talking to Nassim about quantum entanglement, and I said, you know, seems to me kind of ridiculously impossible if there's distance, that if I do something here and then across light years away, it something happens, right? It seems to me it's all in one place, but the illusion is that it's all over the place. But so what this overall consciousness is that we're all a part of, this little piece, this fractal that we are of it. Our function is to be in that different illusion of location and have that different point of view, and then make it work with your different point of view. And it's all part of the main consciousness, learning more, expanding, not being bored and hanging out in just one spot and being, you know, existing. And part of that also is talking about all of us being connected to it, feeling that connection. Like, you know, you can do it, visualize it different ways. For me, it's like comes up through the spine, comes up through my eyes. And okay, so right now, everybody, you're listening to the luckiest boy in the world. So you might want to pay attention, because crazy stuff happens to me, right? And so what I'm like, when I was on with JP the other day, and all of a sudden there's like, he had to put his helmet on because he was getting an energy attack. And just like in 2 seconds, I was like this, like, because I feel like energy out of my hands. I'm like, okay, protecting JP. Wah. And it wasn't a joke for me, because like I just now do that. And like I'll be sitting and all of a sudden my ear will ring. I'm like, okay, who's messing with me? And then it goes away, right? Because we are all connected. We are all powerful. We all can make that 5D manifestation of good things, right? Because if you're focusing on good things, and your consciousness and your attention is there, and it's for the good of everybody, because you can do it the other way around, right? And that's what feeds the parasitic beings. That which feeds this breakdown of our grid and our energy, and we're coming up out of that cycle, and there's not any way that they can keep holding on to it. The momentum is there. We're riding, we're surfing it, right? And the fact that we've all decided to come here on this timeline at this point is because great stuff's going to happen. We've been waiting for it for a long time, and I want everybody. That's part of this conference, my book. You guys being my friends, it's like I want everybody to understand how powerful we really are, because the sooner we do, the better it gets, the smoother it gets, right? And yeah, anyway, so I was exploding with that. I had to just let it say that.
Yeah, it's so on point. That's once people understand that their consciousness and power of manifestation is what is actually being hijacked by these archons and used to manifest the world they want, because you're being hijacked to use that subconscious manifestation. And as soon as you recognize that, you're free to change it. You're free to recognize that you can create whatever universe you want to create. You could literally create a planet out of your mind. If you understand that you're powerful enough to do that, you could do it. And people are awakening to that, which is what makes it so exciting. And to connect in Mackinac too. It's going to be so exciting to do this in nature, which helps you connect to it. And I'm a mountain boy. I grew up here in the Catskill Mountains. That's my what do you call it? My standby.
Yeah. Light architects, and we will be doing a lot of light architecture there together. Every time that we get together, we co-create all these amazing things, call it from the ethers, and bring it into this manifestation, because we're actually connected heart to heart. Yes, there is a purpose, yet that very same purpose, it's connected to higher truths, and I think that one of the things that we all share here is that we put our best interests to that mission, and that mission is not coming from a space of ego. The engine that is actually moving that purpose, it's again higher truths. Being happy, sharing with the people that we love, having fun while we do it, while we achieve our missions, because we love our missions. We all are here very passionate about our missions. And for me, it's super important for people to actually see this, actually you can have fun doing what you love. This is why we came here for. It's not like Trevor one day said, I need to go to the pyramids. I cannot imagine him. Or Frank,
or even I have to go to Earth. I didn't mind that either.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do an incarnation on Earth. Why not? It's going to be an exciting time. So
Frank is going to be there. Yeah, Trevor is going to be there. Okay, I'm coming. JP.
All right.
It's like, okay, let's go.
But these things do happen. This is why so many of us who were here in the past have come back at this time, and why it's such an exciting time for that. Absolutely.
Well, okay, so we have remarkable people, today, JP, all of us, right? We've seen incredible things, right? But what I want to say to anybody watching this is that every day, everything you do is really important. Like when you hold the door open for somebody, you pick up a piece of litter off the ground, you call somebody you haven't heard from for a while, you might be struggling. All those little things send out ripples. And you are just as important to the fabric of the universe as anybody else. And when you exercise that love and that intention of caring and that feeling of agency over taking care of the people and the environment around you and the animals and the plants, and even just smiling, and doing something unexpected for somebody, paying it forward, all of those little things are really important. The one thing that I know we've all talked about this, that people that get a bit of celebrity, and they get very arrogant about it, as if they deserve it more and they're going to be the voice. And I'm always saying, don't listen to me, make your own decision, but inform yourself and understand how you know what you know, because was it programming? Somebody told you, let's examine that. Let's go back. That's why I wrote the book, because I realized that we have so many people that are just buying the mainstream. And after, I think COVID kind of broke the spell. September 11th almost did it. And then COVID kind of really did it, where people are going, wait, what's really going on here? Why are all these systems in place to try to make us think something that's not real or not right? And it's because it's okay. So individually, yeah, it's really important. And all the things that we do are really important, but together we create a field. So the more of us that understand this and act in a way that we're with intention about creating an environment, an earth, and a society and a culture and a civilization that's beautiful and benevolent, we will be able to connect with our galactic families that are in that vibration already. Also, not just galactic, but they're dimensional. There are a lot of different things that maybe a lot of us don't understand yet. But JP is a very basic dude. He's not a physicist. He's not. We talk quantum physics. He's gonna sense it. He's not gonna think of it in a mathematic way, right? But he's gonna feel it in his gut, right? Like, oh, this is right. This feels good. But he will walk into these really advanced, society, civilizations, and just they'll connect and bond with him and feel at home in a way that that his commanding officers get a little bit pissed off about. There's been situations where they get a little bit upset because the Ant King wants to talk to JP and not the guy who's in charge, right? So that's what I'm saying is, like, JP is like a really good example of somebody, like, when he speaks, he's not speaking in a super high level, intelligent, articulate way, because he speaks a bunch of languages too, but he's just a dude, man. He's just a basic dude. And he's not like a fantasy science fiction writer. So when he's telling you about talking to like, I was in YssaH, you were with us that night, and we're in a restaurant. I'm showing them a picture of one of the handbags that I have, and it had this aquatic looking, like a humanoid with fins and stuff. And he was like, oh yeah, that dude's like this big. And he stands up and, like, he wasn't like giving me a biology lesson or whatever. He was just like reacting viscerally, like the way somebody would, like, yeah, they're like really big. They're this tall, So what I'm saying is like, we tend to always try to put somebody up like as a celebrity or an authority figure or a priest, and we're going to listen to them. What the power is going to come from is like getting our own feeling in our own gut. And what you hang around JP and Emery, both those guys are all about their gut, and you see Emery on TV, you don't get this at all. But when you see him in person, the guy is just like, he's reading your energy. He's talking about, like first time I saw him by myself, he like walked in and he went, dude, turn it down. He goes, your aura is bigger than Sedona right now. And I was like, okay, okay. I don't know what that means, but I'll work on that. Okay. But so,
I met him in Contact in the Desert 2019, and it was like at the end of everything, and I just had like 2 seconds. I think he was running out, but he just gave me a huge hug out of nowhere. He's just like, oh, okay. It's really, really sweet guy.
Yeah, they are super sweet, and that's what we were saying about the heart. It's and including you, and I do my best, to always remain in the heart, because it's our nature, and it's our compass. And this is one of the things that I love the most, that it's connecting with your inner child. It is that capability of mesmerizing yourself with everything that you're experiencing every time that you say, Frank, that you're the luckiest boy in the world. is that, that capability of, wow, it's like, I'm doing this and I'm experiencing this. And I believe and I know and I feel that we shall never lose that, because once we lose that, we are not anymore that white canvas. We're already drawn upon, and the magic of the white canvas is that you can put whatever you want, and because you continue renewing yourself. And I feel that this is something that all ancient texts talk about, is that purity, that sacredness of that is capable to bring any type of creation from within, so yeah. Let's bring our toys and let's play together there, right?
Yeah.
Is it Beach, Frank? By the way, you have a flyer here that I want to share. By the way, I don't want.
Well, I was just going to show that's the location.
Okay.
That's the campground, and it's a mile of shoreline on the Straits of Mackinac. And it's getting to be really rare that, like, myself and a couple brothers can own a property like this. I mean, we have private equity firms coming at us, wanting to throw money at it, but it's like, we'd rather work really hard so that, tens of thousands of people could come and have a beautiful time and connect with nature. That's why my parents, that's what they wanted. They wanted to have a place where people could come, get together, connect with each other, connect with nature in a setting like this. And, it would be so easy to take the money and run, because, you got to deal with every person's, bad review online and complaint and blah, blah. And, you will feel it when you come here. I mean, I started energy work on this place like 30 years ago. And so along with it's in a place where the energy is where it's convergence of energy coming through here, but also there's
I know you've been building up the sacred geometry crystal grids, the cement, burying this beautiful blessings and things in the form of sacred geometry all over the place. I know you've been putting a lot of your energy into it.
You will see little things, like you walk around and you'll say, why is there a dodecahedron hidden up inside of that thing up in there? You're like, what is that? There's little things like that around. But
I always said, the more dodecahedrons, the better. Can't go wrong.
There is nothing like too many dodecahedrons, right?
No such thing.
That came from Dr. Lydia and Arturo. One of the guys that they had trained was working with me on some energy stuff. And so let me grab a flyer and put it. Well, actually, just look, my Mortals of Earth. If you just go to mortalsofearth.com, you can look. There's the link for the conference. It has all the speakers. And we are, like I said, I love conferences. I love meeting people. I love the information, but this is not like any other conference you've ever been to. And I'm hoping that, it's beyond when you've got this mix of people and the information, like Trevor was saying, like, he's got so many things to pick from. It's hard for him to pick like what he's going to talk about. Same thing, with me. I've got interviews with Muhammad Ibrahim and William Brown and the woman that wrote Petroglyphs of Mu that I met on Easter Island, and stuff that's all kind of still we haven't brought out yet. And we've got all the footage from this incredible find that we had in Mexico, and then Piedras Negras in the jungle, and then the labyrinth just down the river, right? And along with what Trevor's just been finding recently, using other technology in Egypt and with other friends. And then also we have a way of, there's two ways now of decoding some of this stuff that Trevor is actually brought to my attention. One is Vita Austin. She's basically making a alphabet of, a library of the Akashic records, the language of it, which is, I don't know what form that will take when she's ultimately done with it, but it sounds like she's done thousands and thousands of these slides. And then I wrote about it in my book, so I was looking into it. Then also the telepathy tape kids, these nonverbal autistic kids, and their ability to connect in a way that, you know, transcends distance and language. And
we could invite some of them even. I don't know where they all live, but wouldn't hurt to invite some of them.
That would be amazing. And having them for the night
Skywatch.
Skywatch.
Some of them were interested in even coming to Egypt with me. I think Michigan would be a lot easier than that.
Yeah, and that would be anchoring something. Perhaps after that they will be joining to Egypt, you know, because when you anchor things in this type of magical events that are aligned to source, they manifest. So that would be awesome. Yes, bring them over. I mean, it's not my camp, but
no, I mean, Trevor's definitely connected to some, because
I've been talking with Melissa, who's working with them. She was on one of the webinars I did with Veda, and then we did a webinar that was so much fun. Veda and 3 of them attended, and Veda had all of us different speakers talk on these different subjects, and then had them react to what we were saying, and it's really cool. We did like a live meditation with them and kind of had everyone visualizing healing for the planet and all this light coming out of the pyramid grid all over, and getting into some of that water magic, the how you can actually program the quartz that's within this granite of the obelisks that is constantly having this energy filter through it that affects the whole consciousness of the planet. You can reprogram the stone and the crystal to continuously transmute these, you know, darker things that are being put into the grid into light, basically. And some of them were very interested in the archaeological aspects of it, which was kind of what the webinar was about, how it applied to ancient technologies. But some of them would be really interested in getting into the subjects of where these halls of records are. And I'm hoping to do some more talks with them, with Melissa as well, who's one of the telepaths helping them communicate. They all sound interested, and we were going to get that set up, but I just had too much going on. But that should be coming soon, actually.
Well, I imagine them being like seeing this pop-up museum and these artifacts and this language that hasn't been decoded and the symbology.
I really want to hear what they say about that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that will be. Even if you do tests actually with artifacts and water, you know, which I have been doing with some of the experiments that we have been doing with the Earth Ark mission, is like you put very structured water close to the artifacts, and it's impressive how they will replicate the patterns. Of course, not the full image, yet a very specific encoded pattern that it is in resonance with the artifact itself, or even with one of the engravings of the artifact. You know, it's like starts communicating immediately.
So Trevor, I don't think I've talked to you since I was talking to Trevor Hawk. So we call you Trevor. We call him Hot Trevor. Okay, so to hope you don't take offense.
Oh,
yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Anyway, so I was
a hotness in that.
Yeah. It's all his hair. I know. I get it.
Listen,
you your own handsomeness.
He would not fit into the tunnels you've been into. I can tell you that. Because he would not have been able to get that 360 image we're going to see in a little while that we're going to talk about later, right? Anyway, so what I was looking up and talking to him about, because he's done a lot of deeper research on this than anybody has recently on the composition of it, is that so I was up arguing with AI one night, as I do, and it was insisting that this was modern, right? Because I put pictures and other things about it, and it said that there's no way that it could have been done in that time period because of the technology it would take to do this. And I'm like, okay, well, you're wrong because of this, this, and this, right? And then it wanted to see the proof. It wanted to see anyway. So I'm like, okay, I'm the human here, and I'm in charge. So I'm telling you, you have to assume that I'm right because I've seen it. And anyway, so what I got down to was alumina and silica. Silica is like sand, quartz, crystals. And so I said, okay, if I'm making this and I have control enough to make, be able to put these fine lines in and heat this to 4,500 degrees, even though it's 11,000, 17,000 years ago, and I can control the way that this is solidified, congeals. Can I keep the crystalline form to it? Can I tune the crystals? Can I make this like a crystalline object that's kind of a manufactured for specific resonance, a purpose, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh yeah. Yeah. It was like, it didn't argue with me about that at all. So I think I have, with now that we're able to measure, like we get these nonverbal autistic kids to look at this, we've got technologies now to be able to measure energies we haven't been able to before. Plus I have like some experiences and video proof of things that these can do in this realm, like taking over electronics and doing stuff. I think that we have many halls of records around us, right? And with these children being able to read probably Akashic, with Vita Austin getting a language for us, these coming to light, these crystal tablets and crystal skulls, calcite, whatever. Marcel Vogel showed us, like, just by rubbing and blowing on them, we can clear them and we can affect them. So encoding is not something that has to be done from the manufacturing point up. It can be done afterwards. So I think we have so many avenues here to explore and to learn. It's exciting.
Actually, I got my Vogel here.
Oh, one of the experiments that's beautiful that we at some point said to or plan to do with the Bugasphere is, like one of those tablets that you have, Frank, that has the circuitry code, that has very specific materials as inlays, and also the very same geopolymer itself, but then also it might have incrustations of this alloy, this metal alloy, orichalcum, because we are going to try them next to the Bugasphere along with cables to see, and other type of testings to see how it responds, putting it to the frequency generator and stimulating the frequency that it's coming from the very same organic material of the tablet, to see the optical axis of the very same artifact and see how it can actually generate the frequencies, and see how it stimulates the Bugasphere. Other type of experiments that I'm also working on, but some of them have already given, like a very good feedback, like the sphere communicating with me through the CT scan, giving the same frequency that I translated. I talked about this in Sedona, like giving me the same pattern through the frequency that I decoded from the sphere itself, and the one that it gave away in the CT scan. It was telling me, like, yes. I
was talking to David about that. I would really like to know if they could get a light-proof photon sensing room to see what it's emitting for photons, because I bet if it's going to emulate your frequency in the CT scan, because you have a biophotonic imprint as well, it might be able to mirror that. Because you're just talking about the Bugasphere, my buddy. Okay, so I showed this the other day, but this was out of a rock in Mexico, and it's got the Buga pattern, right? But the strangest thing was, it had this half moon on it, just like the Bugasphere has as well. And that was from Colombia, thousands of miles away. This is from the desert in Mexico, and this definitely, there has to be a connection. There has to be something, like you're talking about putting these artifacts with the Bugasphere. I'm thinking, yes, it's the same. It ties together. I mean, in graphics, I don't know what these graphics mean yet, but okay. In my little square here, see this little thing, everybody? Yeah. I like to bring this up, because YssaH was like drawing this for years. It became like a symbol that she has kind of made her brand, and then it's been discovered. Now, there's a lot of narratives about like when this symbols, started being seen. And the one of the things coming to Mackinac was because Mark Russell will say, well, I didn't start seeing them all till the last few years they started coming out, which temporally, Trevor Grassi's got some temporal evidence from Giza Plateau that he will talk about at some time that I don't want to, be a spoiler for. But these temporal aspects to this ancient technology and these discoveries at a certain point won't be able to be ignored. But let me so one of the things coming to Mackinac was in this man's his father-in-law's drawer, locked away for 40 years. Nobody had opened it. He passed away. They opened it up and it had the Booga things on it. So I said, okay, well, that means, temporally 40 years ago, he stuck that into a drawer. But the fact that they're coming up now, we're finding them, we go out to the desert and pulling them up at this time could have something to do with that too. These things are not coincidences,
No, they are not. And I feel them, I feel them here with me, the beings that are behind that cosmic nexus, because that cosmic nexus actually came here now to bring fields of remembrance, such as this temples, such as these pyramids, such as all these ancient advanced technologies. They are here. Every time that we see that code, every time that we see that pattern, it is activating within our DNA the very same memories that are connecting to that primordial field before the younger Dryas. This is what they have been telling me. It's like for us to remember our reality. This is why if you have seen the speech in every one of us in this, like most of us has changed in a way that every time that they ask, what do you think is going to happen? Before it was like, dude, it's looking like the worst, I'm sorry to tell. I don't want to say it. I love the earth. I want the best for the earth, but it's looking like kind of bad. And now the speech is, and not like the speech is like, whatever is going to happen is whatever we choose it to be, because we are that powerful. So you can already see that the timelines are way not influenced by any type of technologies that are or beings that are trying to control it. No, like we remembered the game. That's the thing. We remembered the game. So yeah.
Well, so anyway, I just want to, because I want to let you guys go because I know we all have important work to do. But I want to just thank you for making this happen, YssaH. I'm so grateful. And you guys, it's going to be such a gift to have you here, to be able to have your energy in this place and to be able to welcome you and to introduce you to my family and my staff and the people here and the
and the Charlie.
Oh, the Charlie, yes.
It's all for the Charlie.
Yeah.
Yes. So before we go again, so if you can't come, you can participate online. We're going to broadcast globally, everything, all the moments. We'll try to get even some of the campfire discussions and the Skywatch will do, we're going to have some night vision goggles. See maybe if we can get them plugged into something, we can broadcast that as well. That will unlock and show us some of the plasma beings and some of the things that are cloaked as well, because they want to come to the party and, they can't always make themselves seen, so we'll be able to look at them. But so if you want to use, well, at this point, we don't have a Trevor code. We have an YssaH code. So if you go on and you can't come, you just click on, online, and then you can get 10% off and just put YssaH and and participate that way. But if you can come, please come. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Write that YssaH, and get your tickets. To be an amazing. I know that perhaps due to many reasons, people might be thinking about it or are about to purchase their ticket. This is going to be a transcendental experience. I don't say this, like easily. If I'm saying this with this certainty, is because I know the amount of effort, the amount of love that has been put on this event, and that can only lead to amazing outcomes. Not to mention the amount of love that everyone that is coming is planting on the event itself, not because only we are doing something that we're passionate about, which is uh, sharing the information that we have been researching, that we have remembering, and so forth. It's also because we love Frank. And for me, and I know that I'm kind of speaking for Trevor as well, and not just feel free to correct me yet.
Of
Uh,
course.
it's such a pleasure and a joy from the heart just to share with him and be together, and such an honor to be being called to this event, and do
Yeah.
be wherever we are being called to, because this is going to be huge.
Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely back it up that I was there as this event started creating itself out of thin air. And I watched as poor Frank tried to keep up with the events that were happening to him, and that he was gratefully stepping up to the plate when it was clear that, like I said, you basically were the nexus, the center point that this whole event started gravitating around. And yeah, I love conferences. I love gatherings of people who are all there, who are just excited to speak and learn from each other. I'm obviously, it's one of my central core tenets is really community building and getting everyone's input. I'm always so fascinated to hear, especially from the people who are actually furthest from my own personal perspective, so I can expand my own personal perspective. But in this case, it's just really, to me, one of the biggest real points is that, these things always happen in these big square hotels that are really kind of dead architecture and things like that. And the hotel has never really been the ideal location for something like this. To get on the shores of the water, to be close, it's always about water, being right on a lake, being able to camp, getting all of this range of price levels, depending on your affordability. You could just sleep on the beach or get a nice cabin. It's amazing that you have this ideal location to actually offer all this. But I'll tell you, that's a lot of the times that's the financial issue too. It's not the flight, it's the hotel. You're going to pay so much that it's oftentimes the breaking point. For me, there have been several conferences in the past 2 years that I wouldn't have been to if you hadn't offered me to take your second bed in your rooms, because it was to be roommates was the only reason I was able to actually go. I wouldn't have been able to afford it. So I love that aspect of it. I love that there's a lot of different availability for people to fit their own budget. But I love that it's you setting it up, because that's the other thing when I hear about a new conference, very first thing my mind always goes to is, where's the money coming from? Who's the organizer? What does their heart look like? What are they in it for? Obviously, with this one, I didn't have to worry about any of that. And it was really funny. Like, I don't know, like I said, this is my second conference. I've done a couple little guest appearances here and there, but I've only given one real conference presentation before. And I've really said no to a lot of them, only because things are really busy and I'm focusing on trying to catch up on these films. But it was kind of a relief with this one to just know that it was you, because I was like, oh, okay, it's Frank. There's no way I'm not going. I think a lot of people feel that way. Everyone really feels your energy, Frank, and knows you're the best. And you, of course, as well, YssaH. It's very clear from the lineup exactly what type of vibe it's going to be. And I think that's the selling point in itself. All these factors are going to make this absolutely nothing like any other conference that has ever happened. And that's my kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you both so much for all the work you're doing. I really appreciate it. Just so happy, excited to be part of it.
And
excited to see the property.
Sorry, what did you say?
Excited to see the property finally, too, after all I've heard about it.
Yes. Well, thank you to you too, Trevor, as well, for all the hard work and the information that you're putting out there. It's truly remarkable. both of you, like your book, Frank, and you, Trevor, everything that you're doing. It's truly courageous. And I'm telling you this as someone who is in the field and saying when is the right moment to put out information. When you have loads of information that you have to put out there that are not only related to you, yet have a lot of implications, and knowing the right time when to put them out and in which way, that is truly, again, remarkable, and also because of the quality of the information. This is huge. And it's bringing a lot of awareness to the world. So thank you both for doing that. And yeah, I'm also super lucky, being with you both and with all the beautiful soul family galactic tribe that it's going to be there. Emery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about Danny over there? My vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
A lot of the attendees, not just the speakers, but even a lot of the attendees I know are going to be really special people.
Exactly.
Yeah, everybody's a friend, of mine, and they kept saying yes, so everybody's okay. I'm a little overwhelmed. So that was beautiful, you guys. I've been feeling like, even beyond all of that love right there, a couple of times it was hard to describe. I felt like a love bomb. Either somebody's watching and giving it, but it was just like whoosh coming out. And so I was just kind of like helping to, if you're watching this, hopefully you could feel it, because I'm like trying to reflect it back to everybody watching. I could just, there is a lot of something, support and something happening here. It was like, it's been like an avalanche of this coming together. And it doesn't mean it's been easy, because it happened right around the time of my book finishing, which has been really, like, because I have friends like you that I know are going to read my book. And so it makes me really want to have it be perfect, right? And Trevor watched me in several like amazing locations up all night working on the book while he's out checking out pyramids.
I know, I was trying to get him to come to the Tula Pyramid. He had to finish the book. But I've witnessed the dedication you've got, Frank. It's really amazing. God.
Yeah. Easter, I was at the Sphinx at YssaH's, and I'd never left the room because I was working on the book, and I totally forgot it was Easter, because I went there to go to the Sphinx on Easter morning and completely forgot it because I was doing the book. But anyway, so now it's done.
I remember. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your time. Love you. And yes, see you really soon. Well, we will be having other shows for sure, Frank. I will just pass you the invitation. We might have Emery as well. So guys, stay tuned for the next panel. And okay, so what a beautiful one. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for your beautiful comments, for all your love. See you guys in Machina. And again, remember www.mortalsoferarth.com. There you will find all the information, everything that you need. You will be taken care of. And until next time.
Hi, Cameron.
Hi, Cameron.
All right. Take care, everybody.
You too. Love you.